Today I saw True Memoirs of an International Assassin, and it's pretty bad. It's bad, I know that much. I guess I was just trying to figure out how bad it was exactly. I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 10. I almost gave it a 4 out of 10 because of some scenes toward the end with just some like archaic cliches behind it that really don't hold up in movies today. But then the very ending kind of a little bit made up for it. It wasn't a great ending, but it was enough that I was like, I guess I can ignore that little part there and knock it back up to a 4.5 out of 10. Really throughout the whole movie I just kept groaning because the dialogue in this movie was just so bad. I can't even really explain how bad it was. But I guess just for example, like the lead female who's like this cliche, I can take care of myself. I'm a tough girl, I don't need no man. She kept like giving Kevin James nicknames that were literally just names of food. I was just like, what does that even... I don't know, that's just one example of the weird, stupid writing in it. The story, though, I'll give it this much, it wasn't really that formulaic. Like, elements of the plot were pretty predictable, but the plot line itself was kind of all over the place, so it's kind of hard for it to be predictable. For, like, the first 2/3 of the movie, it was just Kevin James switching hands with a bunch of people, which was pretty repetitive, but that was also kind of on purpose. And that doesn't really excuse it, but it's like, whatever. The main problem was the dialogue. That was really the cheesiest part. The story wasn't the worst thing in the world, because like I said, at least I didn't know what was going to happen the whole time, for the most part. They also had some really bad effects in it. Like, the effects in this movie were pretty trash. Like, they'd be in a helicopter and just so obviously green screen. Or they showed the helicopter crash into the water and it's just like super cheap CG. And I guess you could argue, well, they don't have the budget, so they just do what they can. Well, if they don't have the budget, then they shouldn't write those scenes in. Like, another cheap Netflix movie I watched recently was Special Correspondence, and they did a really good job with what they had. They never needed to use any bad CG in the movie, I don't think. I never noticed anything. So yeah, I definitely would not recommend this movie unless you just want to be groaning at your screen for an hour and a half. I don't know how Netflix can justify making so many bad Happy Madison movies. Like, I'm not sure if this is exactly a Happy Madison movie, but they made this deal with Adam Sandler, and that's clearly why Drew Barrymore has a show now and why Kevin James has these movies, and Adam Sandler has had like 2 or 3 movies already on Netflix. And I don't think any of them have had good reviews, even though some of them, like this movie, did look intriguing. They're just really not working. I don't think all of Adam Sandler's stuff is bad, although most of it is, but I think it was a really bad move that I don't really understand for Netflix to make a deal with him to produce content, because they have so many good programs going for them, so they don't need to scrape the bottom of the barrel, yet they still are. I don't know, I don't understand it, but whatever. I guess it wasn't even the worst movie of 2016, just in the bottom 5 of the movies I've seen anyway. So yeah, once again, 4.5 out of 10. Tomorrow I'll probably go and see Trolls. Okay, until then.